Hi, everyone. Father Tony here with this week's chapel message. In his letter to the Romans, St. Paul writes to the church there, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." In other words, when something bad happens, don't let it get you down and don't let it beat you. Instead, look for ways that you can turn something negative into something positive. Maybe you've heard the old saying, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. It's kind of like that. Don't let bad things keep you down. Find a way that you can make something good even out of a bad situation. And I bring that up because today in the Episcopal Church's calendar of saints, we celebrate the life of a man named Father Hiram Hisanori Kano. And Father Kano was born in Japan about 130 years ago. His father was an important person in the Japanese government. And Father Kano wasn't always a priest. When he was young, he decided that he wanted to be a farmer. So he went to college in Japan to study agriculture, and then he moved to Nebraska to continue his studies at the university in Lincoln. After he graduated, he got married, and he bought a farm in central Nebraska. He also became active in something called the Japanese Americanization Society, where he taught English and worked as a translator and a helper for Japanese immigrants in the area. Unfortunately, there was a lot of prejudice against Japanese immigrants at that time. Some lawmakers in Nebraska even wanted to make it illegal for Japanese Americans to own property. When he was in his early 30s, Father Kano and a man named Bishop Beecher, the Episcopal bishop for western Nebraska, fought against this, and thankfully the bill was defeated. But during this time, Kano became very active in the Episcopal Church, working with the Japanese living in the Platte River Valley. Eventually, he was ordained a deacon and then a priest. Then on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, the Japanese military attacked the U.S. Navy base at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, which forced the U.S. into World War II. After finishing his church services in North Platte that morning, Father Kano was arrested by local police and interrogated. And see, during the war, there was a deep level of mistrust of Japanese immigrants in the United States. So much so that the government created these places called internment camps, where they rounded up thousands of Japanese Americans and forced them to live there in these camps because they were afraid that they might be spies or that they weren't loyal to the United States. And Father Kano was put into one of these camps. But while being held in the camp and away from his family, Father Kano didn't just sit there and sulk or complain. Father Kano taught English classes to the other prisoners and led worship and ministered to and cared for all those around him, including his jailers and other prisoners and German prisoners of war who were also housed in the camps. After 3 years, Father Kano was finally released from the camp and allowed to go back to his family. And Father Kano continued to work as an Episcopal missionary among Nebraska's Japanese residents until he retired many years later. During Father Kano's life, he experienced the evil of being discriminated against and even imprisoned simply because of where he was born. But Father Kano was not overcome by this evil, but he overcame the evil with good, using it as an opportunity to love and care for others, even those who had imprisoned him. Everyone that knew him was blessed because he was able to make something good out of a bad situation. So I would encourage you if you're interested to do some research and find out more about Father Hiram Kano, the Saint of Nebraska. I hope you all have a great week. I hope you're all doing well, and I want you to just stay safe, and I will see you next week. God bless.